So today I thought it would be fun to do one of these what I spend in a week videos. I know this is a big trend going around YouTube right now, and I was honestly sort of curious. I'm not one of those people who tracks every single thing that I spend money on, and so I was like, this could be a good eye-opener for me too if I'm spending too much money. So if you don't know, my name is Jill. I'm a 25-year-old living in Los Angeles. I live in a one-bedroom apartment by myself, and I've lived in LA for 6 years now, which is so crazy. I've lived in a lot of different places, but this is by far my favorite. So FYI, in this video, we are mostly going to be talking about active spending. I'm not gonna try to like tally out, I used 1/8 of this spinach, here's how much it costs. That's a little overboard. So the only not active spending for this week that I'm going to tell you about is paying my rent. Just because I think that that is a good base, especially for people who are thinking about living in Los Angeles, just to understand a little bit of what that weekly breakdown on rent is. So I pay just under $2,000 a month to live in my apartment, and so for the week that breaks down to $481.25. That is going to be the base of where we're starting. Now on to Monday. So typically Mondays are days that I just spend completely inside working all day, although this Monday was a little bit different because we had a fun activity planned. So I started my day just getting some coffee. My building offers free coffee in the mornings from this really fancy coffee machine, so I can get vanilla lattes for free. So it basically makes no sense for me to typically go and buy coffee somewhere when I can just get it for free here. And with that, there's not even an expense when it comes to like K-cups or anything like that because I don't provide anything. It's just provided to me by my building. And then I mostly just spent all day filming. I made sure to eat lunch at home. I just had some leftovers of a meal I had made over the weekend. So I had some of that before diving back into work. I had to get a video edited, so that's what I was working on. And I sort of ran out of time for dinner, so I decided to get something out before we headed out to my very first basketball game, which was a lot of fun. It was Raptors versus Clippers. My boyfriend's from Toronto, and so we went with him and his brother and went to root for the Raptors. Before we headed out, we decided to pop into Chipotle just for something quick and that we could have part of and then finish later if we were hungry after the game. And I decided to pick up mine and my boyfriend's because he had bought the tickets to the basketball game, so I figured the least I could do is pick up his Chipotle. So in total, that came to $19.38. And then at the basketball game, I actually avoided spending any money, which was really nice. Left the drinking to the boys. I was not in the mood that day to drink. And it was very exciting because Shawn Mendes and Camila Cabello over there. So I really had my eyes on them. 50% of the game, 50% of the game watching the game. And lesson learned, sports has something for everyone. Moving on to Tuesday. So again, I started my morning with some of the coffee from the coffee machine downstairs. So delicious, the easiest thing to do. And then I actually had more filming to do, so by 10:30 in the morning, I was off and running with the filming, just trying to get that done. It took me a few hours. And then when I was finished, I checked in with Tara and we decided to do a work day at Bluestone, which is our favorite place to do work days. Also, I just noticed the straw for my drink is in the shot. Sorry, that's annoying. So at Bluestone, we can use this app. It's called the Into app, and it basically gives influencers the option to get something in exchange for social posts. So that's what we did there. And at Bluestone, they offer you a coffee and an avo toast. So we took advantage of that, which is wonderful because I had to pay for Ubers to get there and back. Ubers are probably one of the biggest expenses for me, Ubers and food. Times like this that I miss having a car, but when you consider the cost of gas, parking in my building, insurance, all of that, it at least evens out, if not ends up being cheaper to just pay for the Uber. So in total, my Ubers for that day cost $37.68. Real bummer there. But that's what makes Bluestone so great because at least I save money on my coffee and my lunch. And actually before we went home, we've just popped across the street to Trader Joe's to do a bit of grocery shopping, which is pretty typical for us when we are at Bluestone. And I picked up everything I needed for probably 2 weeks of groceries, plus some extra things that like I didn't need, but I just wanted. Quick grocery haul so I can show you guys how much I got for so little. I got 2 salad kits. This is literally 4 meals right here because it only takes half a bag for me to be full. 2 packets of tofu bricks, which is 4 bricks total. So many meals right here too. Matcha almond beverage, which will help me not spend money on coffee. Frozen broccoli. Almond milk, this lasts me for like 2 months at a time. A bell pepper. And then some shit that I didn't even need just for fun, like everything but the bagel dip. And I got sweet potato crackers to dip with. Definitely having those tonight. And this porcini mushroom and truffle ravioli. Hell yeah. Molly's excited to save money too. And in total, that came to $31.08, which I think is really great for like 2 weeks worth of groceries. And I also had to pay my internet bill that day, so that was $76. Real bummer there, but I ate at home for dinner, so that was good for saving some money. Moving on to Wednesday, I still had a lot of work to do. I'm sure you're seeing a pattern here. Monday through Friday, I'm pretty much working during the day, which I really don't mind because that means I'm eating home at least for lunch Monday through Friday, more than likely. However, I did pop out for a Starbucks. It just sounded good, so I like to indulge in things like that sometimes. Although the price of Starbucks is sort of ridiculous. I paid $4.35. So stupid. But indulgence like that I think is fine sometimes, especially on a day like this because my boyfriend's dad was in town and he kindly treated us to dinner on Wednesday. So that obviously saved us a bit of cash. Thursday was an equally light day as far as spending went. Again, I indulged in some Starbucks, $4.35 there. It hurts me a little bit every time they say that number because it's like, how? Why? Why is this happening? Why am I doing this? But it's just so delicious. I love getting my chai tea lattes, so had to take advantage. And again, it was fine because it was a lighter day on spending. I ate lunch and dinner at home. Connor came over that night. We just did like a little at-home date night, which was so lovely. He picked up a bottle of wine and then I made dinner with some of the groceries I had bought. I made this amazing dish, you guys. I used this porcini, mushroom, and truffle ravioli and then made a mushroom white wine sauce, which just blew our minds. Seriously going to be a regular on the rotation now, I'm pretty sure, because it was so delicious. And always nice to eat at home during the week because on the weekend, I really like to splurge on food. I'm a foodie, my boyfriend's a foodie. We just love eating good food. And for us, we'd rather spend, you know, $30 or $50 on a nicer meal than $10 on something cheaper. It's just how we choose to spend our money personally. So moving into Friday, this was a pretty unusual Friday because I spent $0. I made myself a matcha drink at home in the morning, so that was delicious and a perfect way to start my day. And then again, Connor's dad was in town and we met him for dinner and drinks before he had to leave to go back home. So again, he was kind enough to treat us. Actually, Connor bought the drinks at the bar we were at and then his dad bought dinner, so I'm a lucky lady. Like I said, that is not really typical spending habits for us. Usually on Friday, we go out for a nice meal, so take that for what it is. But we did go to a sushi restaurant where we barely spent any money. The total for the three of us was $50. I can't count that towards my spending because, as I said, Connor's dad was generous enough to treat me to it. But still, I think that that would have been a really reasonable meal, especially split between 3 people. Okay, Saturday. This was my biggest spending day because food. So in the morning, we woke up, we decided that we wanted to go do brunch because we were actually heading to a house party during the day. So of course we felt like, let's pre with some mimosas. So we headed over to public school where we each got lunch and almost bottomless mimosas. Connor and I decided to split lunch down the middle. We spent $31.21 each. Then we headed out to the house party, which was a lot of fun. Good times with good friends. It was great. We came home. It was already sort of late, like 10 p.m. And we hadn't eaten since lunch, so we were very hungry and I decided, let's do sushi again. I know we had just had sushi the night before, but we were still craving more sushi, so we made it happen. And we actually ordered in kazunori for the first time ever. Neither of us had had kazunori before, and it was amazing. The actual meal that we ordered was only $22, which I think is really reasonable for how much sushi we got. But since we ordered in with taxes and fees and delivery, our total came out to $61.88. Yeah, it was a big one. But totally worth it. It was super delicious. We like devoured it and then passed out. Sundays for us means football and lounging on the couch doing absolutely nothing. So we decided to head over to Beelman's to watch the first half of the Eagles-Patriots game. And Connor actually picked up lunch since I'd picked up dinner the night before, so no expense for me, but you know, it all evens out because I picked up one thing and he picked up the next. Had a really delicious lunch there and then came home and just chilled here. We had a little bit of wine and then we just hung out. We watched A Good Place and then Connor headed out to go get a haircut. So we split off for the night and I just made dinner at home. I made this amazing butternut squash macaroni and cheese from Trader Joe's, which is so good. It's one of my favorite, probably my favorite fall things that Trader Joe's carries. So in total, in active spending for the week, this is not counting my rent, I spent $271.93. Overall, I don't think that's that bad of a number. Honestly, I think that typically I spend a little bit more, closer to like the $300, $350 range. But if you include my rent in that number, that brings my total for the week to $753.23. Much bigger number there. Of course, that's not active spending, but technically that would be my expenses for a week in Los Angeles. You gotta hate hearing it. Obviously, my biggest expense here is food. I love food. I love splurging on food. It is my favorite way to spend money, better than shopping, clothes, whatever. Food. So overall, I feel pretty okay about that. So let's do it. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on push notifications, and I'll see you in my next one.